There are many dimensions, Gun. Require unparalleled, and to help you gain control of the Avatar state. They see this, and it can save your life.
In the second installment of Avatar, we follow Aang and his newfound allies to Kyoshi Island, where he seeks to discover more about his ancestry and attempts to find a means of somewhat controlling his powers as he proceeds on his quest to become the Avatar. Though Kyoshi isn't used to having guests, the island population doesn't treat Team Avatar as warmly as they may have thought, and they most definitely don't welcome the Fire Nation members who are pursuing the Avatar. Here is a detailed synopsis of the events in Episode 2 of Avatar, The Last Airbender. In the second episode, Prince Zuko is shown tearing up his ship's stateroom. He is upset that he lost his notebook with information about the Avatar's whereabouts and perplexed as to why the Avatar fled rather than confront him.
In this dustbin corner of the world, how many places can there be?
According to this, Avatar...
You kill someone?
What?
We did our part.
They can protect themselves. Besides, the world is going to have any chance. It's going to be...
Us off the top of this mountain.
He is comforted by Iroh, who says there aren't many locations the Avatar might be hiding because they are in a more peaceful area of the Earth. Aang desires to go to the temple of Avatar Kyoshi on Kyoshi Island. Being a master of the Avatar state and very strong, Kyoshi believed that something would be there to enable him slightly better manage his powers. At first, Sokka is hesitant to accompany them, but Katara persuades him that they must defend Aang. After saying their final goodbyes to Gyatso, Aang's former guru, they ascend Appa and go on with a new companion, a flying lemur.
Like how you look like a Sokka?
Polar. Quail polar. What are we doing here, Uncle? There's a hub. Local information. They've seen the Avatar? If we're gone without divulging you to have sticky...
After landing at a port, Iroh and Zuko want to speak with Zhao, the area Fire Nation commander, to find out the location of the Avatar, all while keeping their quest for it a secret. In a later meeting, they pretend to be tracking marine species and seek for access to maps and surveillance footage. Zhao finds out via a firebender that Zuko has both found and lost the Avatar after their meeting. Zhao sends the other guy out to see whether there is anything out of the ordinary in their records, reasoning that since Zuko is turning to him for clues, the Avatar could still be in the area. When Aang and company arrive on Kyoshi Island, they find themselves attacked by Suki and the Kyoshi warriors in front of the shrine that was once an Avatar and was constructed in Kyoshi's likeness. Outsiders are not welcome at Kyoshi and risk being charged for trespassing on holy territory. Katara informs the warriors that Aang is the Avatar, but they don't believe her since if he were, there would be a sign. In the meantime, light beams are directed toward the young airbender from the shrine's eyes. The three are taken before Mayor Yukari, who says that the island has avoided involvement in the fight by remaining isolated and that they expected the outside world to do the same. While Aang clarifies that his sole goal is to discover more about his former self, Yukari is unwilling to break any of their restrictions. Suki, Mayor Yukari's daughter, eventually persuades Mom to let them remain. Yukari gives in and gives the travelers 48 hours to peruse their archives in addition to providing food and lodging.
That's mine. That's his...
There goes the savior of the world.
Just all around us, and we
avoided a lot of things, if not happy.
he's a threat, and as soon...
If Zuko's looking to us for instance...
It's great in combat and hunting. Deadly tiger whales.
In another scene, Zhao's boat is seen to have sailed away from the harbor, and Prince Zuko is told by a market vendor that the commander has gone to investigate stories of a flying cow, Appa on Kyoshi Island. Fearing that Zhao may discover the Avatar before him, Zuko dashes to the same spot.
At your service.
Now?
Did you know she was an orphan? Where'd she go from this? I never wanted to fight. They had to train. They were scared how to control my power. How many people... Mom, the other avatars are inside.
He doesn't want Commander Zhao to deny him the opportunity to apprehend Aang and return home. In the village, Sokka and Suki talk about how they are warriors who cannot change the weather, and they even share a kiss until the sound of the town alarm breaks it up.
You know, as your religious protector.
Been a bender and you're the fiercest fighter I've ever met.
So we have to fight with what we have. I envy you. I know. Stop!
Oh!
The Fire Nation is en route, and Zhao has touched down on Kyoshi. Off the coast, Iroh surmises that the Avatar is probably at Kyoshi's shrine rather than in the town, so they travel that way instead. Zuko worries that he won't be able to get to the island before Zhao. Zhao and his troops are faced by Mayor Yukari together with the Kyoshi warriors. When they resist his attempts to scare them into giving up the stranger, a fierce conflict ensues.
And so, where there...
Wish we'd had some advance notice.
Had an unexpected visitor. Yes, I've heard Kyoshi Island, which is why there's been...
because of an outsider. An unfortunate...
You hear it too?
We have to go.
There are many dimensions, Gun. Require unparalleled... And to help you gain control of the Avatar state, this is and it can save your life.
After a fierce battle put up by the islanders, together with Sokka, they begin to lose ground, and Yukari inquires as to Aang's location. Katara tries, but is unable, to wake Aang from his talk with the ancient Avatar at the shrine. The Prince of the Fire Nation hurries over to where she and Zuko had locked eyes. Zuko fights Katara, although he's a much stronger bender. However, just as he is ready to hit Katara, and Aang sees visions of what would happen if he is unsuccessful in his mission, Kyoshi gives him a display of her strength and seizes control of his body.
So what's the point?
You want things to be this island.
This island?
No one's...
I will show you.
The next thing we know, Katara is saved from Zuko by Avatar Kyoshi, who has crashed down next to her. She then makes her way to the village, where she easily repels Zhao's soldiers, prompting the commander to order an urgent withdrawal. Aang returns to his body once the threat has passed. Suki bids Sokka farewell with a kiss and a present of one of her battle fans after Yukari praises them for giving the islanders a cause to hope in the Avatar and in themselves. Then, Team Avatar departs on Appa, leaving the island behind. When Sokka inquires as to whether they will see more of Kyoshi, Aang replies that he has discovered he can only summon former avatars at their own shrines. Their next trip will be the Northern Water Tribe, where Aang has a terrible prediction that only he can avert. Additionally, Katara is aware that their waterbenders are the greatest in the business, making them the ideal candidates to assist in teaching the youthful Avatar the ways of a different element. As the second episode comes to a close, Zuko begs Commander Zhao to keep the Avatar's reappearance a secret from anybody else. He offers to combine his resources with Zuko's and accepts. Zhao, however, quickly violates this agreement in secret by informing Fire Lord Ozai that the Avatar has returned,